So basically, we can see a set of grids. So these grids, they are very good in locating points. But before we start locating points, we are going to need a reference. That means somewhere to start. And to have somewhere to start, we need two sets of axes. We draw a vertical one that represents the y-axis. Then we draw a horizontal one that represents the x-axis. So we write here y, here we write x. Then we can start locating points, since we now know where to start. So just count each box. So let's assume that there is a point here. This is A. There's another point here. This is point B. Let's say we have one more here, point C. And we have the last point, point D. So all these points, they have their values. That's the coordinate values. So what are the values? So for the values, you can see that this is 1, 2, 3. 3 units along the horizontal, then 1, 2. 2 units along the vertical. Here for point C, this is 1 unit horizontally, 1, then you go down vertically, so -1. So negative means is below. Then for point B, we can see that you have to go to the left, so negative along the horizontal. Then you have to go down twice, negative along the vertical. While for point D, you go to the left 3 times or 3 boxes, then go up 2 boxes. So this is how we locate our points on the coordinate on the XY plane, as is usually called. Now another thing we need to know is how to draw lines and the equations of the lines. For instance, we have the vertical axis, we have the horizontal axis. Now you can have different kinds of line. There's a possibility, let's write y and x. There's a possibility that you have this line, which is a vertical line. There is a possibility you have a line like this, which is a horizontal line. Then there is a possibility that you have something in between, maybe like this, or maybe something like this. So if you have a vertical line, you can see that on this vertical line, all of them maintain the same x value. That means any points have the same x value. Like this point, the x value is -2. Here is also -2. Here is also -2. Here is also -2, -2, -2. Like horizontally, all those points are having the same value, because you do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So because they all have the same x values, then this line, the equation of the line is x equal to -2. That means you only move, once you move 2 units to the left, you are where the line is. The same thing with this line. You can see that all these points have the same y value. You just need to go up twice. So once you go up twice, then you get to all those points that fall on the line. So that means for this one, we do y is equal to 2. But for the remaining lines, that's this and this, they have a different kind of equation that we are not going to talk about yet until we have discussed what is called the gradient of a line. So we look at how we can work out the gradient of a line.